Yes, another Sonic thing. So shut up. Anyway, today we're going to react to Sonic the movie. Predictions. Let's go.
The Sonic movies are video game films that fans actually really enjoy.
Yeah. They used to not be that good. No, they have. I think it started with Sonic. Sonic's always the good thing.
Fun, energetic, and surprisingly true to the source material. Around the same time as the sequel's release, it was announced that a third Sonic movie and a spin-off series for Knuckles were on the way. Since then, many fans have come up with several ideas of what they think will happen in Sonic's third.
Like, Amy's gonna show up, Shadow, obviously. That's like, Anyway, let's continue.
Adventure on the silver screen. Some ideas we really like, others not so much. Hey guys, I'm Brad with WickedBinge, and these are Sonic the Hedgehog Movie 3 predictions we love and hate. And quick, spoilers for the first two movies ahead, so let's get started. To kick things
Yeah, if you've somehow not seen them, I mean, they're among most popular, but hey, what the crap.
off, let's talk about the character many are excited to see in the third film, Shadow the Hedgehog. Specifically, Shadow becoming an ally. In the post-
That would make sense. I'll say that for like every person in the storyline at the moment. Everybody Sonic Split became an ally. Besides the person who acts like Gun.
credit scene for the second movie, Commander Walters is informed by another gun soldier that, as they were removing Robotnik from their database, they found a file dating back over 50 years. When he asks her about it, she informs him it has the coordinates to a secret research facility. As she says this, a capsule, and what can be assumed to be that facility, opens up, revealing Shadow. From this scene, several predictions have come to the forefront, mainly that Shadow will become an ally to the heroes.
He has become an ally to the heroes in the past, so that's more likely.
This is a prediction that we feel is the most likely when it comes to what will happen to Shadow. That being said, we do have mixed feelings. Don't get us wrong, we feel confident that this will happen, and we don't mind it if it does, if it's done right. Considering Knuckles already had a similar story arc in the second film, we hope that if the third film has Shadow start out as a villain and ally with the heroes later, it doesn't do it in the exact same way.
Who am I? And why can't I remember anything?
It seems likely to us that
Now this makes sense because he became a villain, but then good guy.
Shadow will start by working with the bad guy, possibly reveal a tragic backstory, and become good later. If they approach it differently than they did with Knuckles, it could still work. This is not the only prediction that people have made involving Shadow's fate, as some believe Shadow will die at the end. The main reason for this
That'll be a bad. That'll be a bad Shadow. They almost not. Also, I don't like this for one reason. Shadow is ultimate life form. He doesn't die, but okay.
from another prediction that we'll talk about in a moment. I don't know about this one. First, have you seen the videos of people in movie theaters reacting to Shadow? The filmmakers would be crazy to kill him so quickly when people are this excited. Second, if people think that this will be his fate because of Sonic Adventure 2, keep one thing in mind. It is true that Shadow was originally planned to show up only in that game and never appear again, hence his death scene at the end.
Died?
However, when the people behind the game saw how Shadow quickly became popular, they got to work thinking of a way to bring him back. In any case, this is a prediction that we don't like at all. Even if
Because Shadow's still alive.
for some reason they decide to kill him off in the next movie, there would more than likely be a public outcry for him to return if
Yeah, this appeal for the last time.
they decide to continue with the series. That being said, the reason why some have Shadow dying is because of another prediction. The third film will share many plot points with Sonic Adventure 2. This would also include elements from Shadow's solo game, since that dives into Shadow's backstory even further. If you played these games and the movie
Oh, you're gonna have Mui, aren't you?
actually went this route, then you know the big events that would happen. Shadow is discovered in a top secret location by the villain. Shadow works with them for a while. Gun mistakes Sonic for Shadow. A different or recurring threat emerges, and Shadow teams up with the good guys to fight them. This one is another that we have mixed feelings about. It would be cool if many of these moments were at least referenced, but we hope it wouldn't be a simple copy and paste. It's already been said that the people behind these movies don't plan on following the same plot of the games, and
They're not the exact same. Also, Sega did They don't know how they're gonna follow that, so.
the same order anyways, so it's unlikely we would see this particular prediction come to life. Based off of this prediction, there are other ideas we could see working if they're done right. For one, Shadow's motivations could be like that of Mewtwo's in the first Pokemon movie. Shadow could be experimented on by the humans, things go wrong, and Shadow winds up with a hatred for the humans, leading to him being an enemy at first. The other would be to have him with a story that kind of combines the story arcs of Vegeta and the Sonic Boom show. He could start out as an enemy, and he could slowly transition to the good guys by fighting alongside them only when he has to. While we don't think this is likely to happen, it would still be interesting. While that prediction
Yeah, that would.
wanted many elements from Adventure 2 being implemented into the next movie, other predictions only involve specific elements. One that stood out is Space Colony Arc being involved somehow. While it hasn't been confirmed yet as of writing this, where Shadow Stasis Pod is in terms of the movie, we wouldn't be surprised if the Arc is the resulting location. This is interesting. After all, if the Arc is introduced, then that could also include the likes of Gerald and Maria Robotnik. Neither of these characters would have to play a major role or even be seen.
Yeah, this just gives me laughter. This is probably a dark meme when it goes in reality. Do I care? No.
If anything, they could be a source of motivation for Shadow to do what he does in the film. He could say something like, "I do this for the one who created me and my only friend I ever had." The movie could then cut to a brief clip or still shot of Gerald and Maria to emphasize who they were and what they meant to him. At some point, they could also give a recap of what happened on the Ark, right up to the point of Maria being killed. This could be a reason for Shadow to attack the humans initially. Concept art has also fueled people's interest in this prediction, and this is one prediction we love. Michael Cuse,
Also, then a memory. I know. Then a memory comes back to Shadow from Maria.
concept art designer, helped out with some of the ideas for designs in the second movie. Even the mid-credit scene, one that caught our eye, features what appears to be a lab in shambles. In the corner lies a lone skeleton, implying that they've been there for a while. With this likely being the same facility that Shadow's in, many are led to believe that this skeleton was once Gerald Robotnik. If that's the case, we could see Shadow waking up, seeing Gerald's skeleton, then remember some elements of what happened there before he was put in stasis, including Maria's death, leading to his initial actions against the heroes. Speaking of Maria's death, we found this next prediction after asking around on Sonic fan pages. If Maria's death is mentioned in the film, people are predicting that Commander Walters is the one who killed Maria. This is a prediction.
Sorry. It would be him versus Maria. Another one like that. That'd be so funny.
That's really compelling because of one quote. We come back to the post-credit scene in Sonic 2 where the other gun soldier tells him about the 50-plus-year-old file they found. How did he respond? With just 4
Is he a post-credit? Not that part, but okay.
words. My God, Project Shadow. That alone implies that Walters, at the very least, knows about the project. Not only that, but given that he knew exactly what she was talking about with something from that long ago, it's highly probable he was involved in either the project itself
Makes sense.
or a possible attempt to shut it down. Finally, the way he said that line could indicate that he has great concern about it. This could be because he knows what, or in this case, who Project Shadow is and the dangers behind it. This could also mean that he caused something to happen that would trigger Shadow if he comes across Walters. If Maria's death is involved in the story and Shadow discovers that it was Walters who killed her, he could be one of Shadow's first targets and or victims. Could this mean Walters will get killed in the next
Oh, that'd be funny.
movie?
Finally, justice is served!
Who knows? If this prediction does turn out to be true, it would be a good way to not only keep Walters involved in the story, but have a strong reason for Shadow to make his presence and power known to the world. Needless to say, we love this prediction. With Shadow already being confirmed for the movie, fans are wondering if other characters will make an appearance. Predictions have been made that Amy and or Metal Sonic will make an appearance.
I don't think Amy probably would. Metal Sonic. He as well. It gets confused. How? Because who made Metal Sonic again? I'm pretty sure Eggman, and isn't Eggman apparently dead? But there's some fix about him not being dead. But who knows?
In Amy's case, while Shadow could be a new enemy, she could be a new ally. On top of that, Sonic now has a group of friends. So what if there was a character that wanted to connect with him on a deeper level? One way this could be implemented is that while Sonic was growing up
Oh, you
with
could go back to the past like it has been.
Claw, Amy was secretly watching and admiring him from afar, in a way that little kids might. After Sonic disappears into the ring portal, Amy could try to find a way to get to where Sonic went. Maybe she could find some rings Long Claw left behind and follow Sonic to Earth. She introduces herself, quickly becomes friends with everybody, eventually gets into a situation where Sonic saves her, and things blossom from there.
Don't worry, I'll protect you.
With Metal Sonic, we aren't sure if he should play a major role in this
Yeah, because how is Eggman gonna be able to make him unless he does come alive? Because he has side quests.
film. Shadow is already likely to play the antagonistic Hedgehog at some point, so having a second one introduced might be a little much. It could all depend on what they do with Shadow. We feel that if Metal Sonic does show up, it's most likely going to be in a mid-post-credit scene, similar to Shadow. Whoever the human villain ends
That means he would have to stop at the end when
up being could end a mid-credit scene.
I would want to see. It also has like Sonic Beam stuff, like sticks. I'd like to see Tommy in that.
With, if I can't defeat that Hedgehog myself, I will make a Hedgehog of my own who can. The camera could then show Metal Sonic being in the early stages of being built. If this happens, Metal Sonic could be a major threat in a possible fourth film that can learn all the attacks of his enemies as he fights them, even being able to mimic them
like one of the people from
perfectly. This is a prediction that we like when it comes to either character, even though many people find Amy annoying. But Metal Sonic and Amy are far from the only characters speculated to appear. Multiple predictions have come out that even more characters will make an appearance.
Yeah, I like SBO, Silver, Mood Blaze, Charmy, Vector, Jet, Mighty. Okay, I'm just naming the whole crew, aren't I?
Some of the other popular candidates have been Rogue the Bat, Silver the
Okay, Wood, because of reasons, they're gonna have to change it because the first times of Wood being made.
Hedgehog, and Cream the Rabbit. While we do
Oh, I'd love to see Cream.
want to see all these characters and more show up eventually, we think it would be wise to keep a cap on how many characters get introduced and have prominent roles in each film. Shadow's already one, Amy or Metal Sonic could be a decent second or third, but beyond that could be very risky. If there's one thing the DC Cinematic Universe has made apparent to moviegoers, it's that you don't want to introduce too much too quickly. If you do this,
True.
you run the risk of juggling too much at once and winding up with a jumbled mess. We simply don't like these predictions. We know Sonic and the rest have gotta go fast, but let's
Why do you use Sonic 6?
the film's overarching story doesn't go too fast. But what about characters that might be left out? Many people have speculated, but most reluctantly by the way, that Robotnik won't be involved at all or anymore. While Robotnik is shown
I hate this idea because Robotnik is the main villain, and who the hell, unless it's a new Eggman, and I'm talking about the sheep.
the end of the second movie to be falling to a possible death, this is not actually why most people have made this prediction. It's tied to Robotnik's actor Jim Carrey. While the second film was being promoted, Jim Carrey announced that he was fairly serious about retiring from acting.
Oh, it's like that?
It did sound like he would still do a film every so often if the story presented to him was good, so it isn't out of the question as far as we know that he could still come back. And if he did retire, the producers have said they won't even try to recast him. This is a prediction that we really hate. We would greatly miss Jim Carrey's Robotnik if he didn't show up again.
Oh, I'm just thinking that because it won't let the main Sonic go unless they do something else.
And he really helped the first film get its footing, especially before Sonic was redesigned, and in both films, Robotnik stole the show. At least they have a way to work around Jim Carrey's retirement by saying Robotnik didn't survive the fall. If Robotnik does not make it back, Agent Stone could play a much more prominent role.
Okay, yeah, there's this person. Agent Stone could probably be the next Eggman.
Agent Stone is the loyal, goofy sidekick to Robotnik. At least, that's how he was in the first film, and we loved every second. We still get a good laugh in Robotnik's dance scene when Stone appears behind him out of nowhere to dance with him and offer him one of his incredible lattes. In the second film, especially with Robotnik temporarily out of the picture, Stone doesn't waste any time and does a lot of work in secret while running a cafe as a cover.
I never stopped steaming your Austrian goat's milk.
This gave us a lot of reassurance that Stone is more than capable of carrying plans out on his own if Robotnik is gone for good. If this is where the movies will go, we love this idea. What also
That would make sense. It just means it'd be another Eggman. I'm saying, yeah. We still need an Eggman.
gives us confidence that Stone will play a bigger role in the third film brings us back to the second film's mid-credit scene. While Commander Walters and the other soldier are discussing the file they found, Stone appears, disguised as a gun soldier. He doesn't even say anything, but that one look he gives implies that he's watching closely, likely listening to everything they're saying. Stone could get a hold of the coordinates, release Shadow, and tell him to go after Walters, which is possible, given that he heard what Walters said about Robotnik's supposed death. Even so, this one moment tells us that Stone could play a much bigger role, and we certainly would not complain. The final prediction that we'll go over today is a little less
that would make sense.
Common, but still one that we wanted to address. Some have thought it possible that the Super Emeralds could be introduced in some way. If you're a
That would make sense, as the Chaos Emeralds did.
You're a Sonic fan, we would not blame you if you've never heard of the Super Emeralds. After all, they only ever made one official appearance way back in Sonic 3, the game. Not the upcoming movie. We dislike this idea. Don't get us wrong.
If it was the Sonic 3, maybe.
We would absolutely love the Super Emeralds to come back, especially after a very long absence. However, this falls into a similar category of people wanting a lot of characters introduced. We just saw the Chaos Emeralds and Master Emerald introduced in the previous film alongside Knuckles. This includes our first appearance of a super transformation in Super Sonic. If we got hyper forms in the film right after seeing that would more than likely be too risky. Many movies and shows that involve characters transforming, especially more than once, will spread these transformations out over time. If a character got too many transformations too fast, then they would likely run out of ways to have an opposition be stronger than them. We would really like Hyper Sonic, Hyper Knuckles, or even Super Tails to make an
Maybe. Oh! Take, I've got an idea what they could do. Okay, hear me out. Good how dumb it sounds. So, maybe they could follow a bit of an RG kind of thing. Listen now, maybe one of the new after the Sonic Shadow thing, instead of that, next movie, Sonic 4 is Sonic just losing his mind. That would make more sense.
Appearance later on, though. Maybe in a future movie, if they end up going into space or some threat known throughout the galaxy appears, the heroes could try to fight them and see that the super forms are not enough. Some opportunity could present itself where the Super Emeralds are brought in, and the hyper form could be used to defeat this foe. All we know is that if a Sonic fan film like Nazo Unleashed can implement the Super Emeralds in a solid and meaningful way, then an official Sonic film could likely do the same at some point. Alright guys, that's it. Let us know in the comments.
Yeah, have a good day. This is Sonic with the Hate and Love. So yeah, basically what they could do, if Eggman doesn't appear, the next but could, not obviously, I'm talking about the other fit. Anyway, the threat I'm thinking of is, we don't know it, something related with RG. Anyway, have a go and I will unmute. Have a great day and excuse my face. Sorry. First, bye.